Breaking news. We got the breaking news sounder before we get into what's trending, Dennis. According to Bruce Feldman, reporter for Fox at The Athletic, tweeted this out about 5 minutes ago. Phil Longo, offensive coordinator for North Carolina, leaving the Tar Heels to go to Wisconsin to go be the Badgers offensive coordinator. So no Phil Longo for Drake Maye next season. Apparently, he had a strong, this is according to Bruce Feldman, had a strong relationship with Luke Fickell for a while, interviewed for the Cincy offensive coordinator position before that.
I realize, just to make a quick point about Wisconsin and Phil Longo.
Yeah.
I realize Barry Alvarez is gone and Paul Chryst is gone. And pretty much that whole era of Badger football is over, is officially over with Luke Fickell. And I understand that. Phil Longo is going to bring an offense to Wisconsin
they've never seen before.
They have not even. I mean, it's almost a little bit like Nebraska when they went to Bill Callahan and he tried to bring in the air raid, and you're like, wait. And Nebraska's like, wait, what? What is all of this? It's going to be fascinating to see because, I said this more so with Sam Howell than Drake Maye. Not that Drake doesn't run.
Sure.
But Sam Howell was really basically running the option last year.
Yeah.
It was RPO. But, especially at the rate that he was running last year. Now, you can modify something like that at Wisconsin, of course.
Yeah.
But it is going to be fascinating to see Wisconsin get that type of makeover. Like, I don't think people in this area truly understand, like, the DNA of Wisconsin football. Remember, that's where Dave Doran came from, right? Like, that's where his ideas of offensive football come from.
I want to strangle the game. I want to run the clock. I want to win with my defense.
If we could just block a punt, if we could just get a pick six, we'll win, 12-3.
So,
I mean, that's a huge development for Wisconsin.
It is.
And I think Carolina is going to be fine.
Are they?
In the sense that they have the trump card in May.
Do they?
They do.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
There's been a lot of speculation. Like, look, I'm only bringing this up because we have to be upfront about what's out there, okay? And I'm not bringing this up in the belief that Drake Maye is going to go somewhere. I'm with you. Drake Maye is going to be a top pick in the NFL. He's a legacy guy at Carolina. Things really got to be bad for Drake Maye to leave UNC. Like, something else is up. I don't think something else is up.
Right.
Okay. So but the Drake. What I'm getting at here is that I can't stop the Drake Maye speculation from hitting fever pitch. You can't stop it. Carolina can't stop it.
Yeah, but logically,
logic doesn't
when you
matter.
have an NFL ticket waiting for you.
I get it.
The very next year.
But what do we know about the transfer portal? The way it's been reported on. The fact that you cannot get to the bottom of what true numbers are being thrown out there in terms of what NIL packages are.
It's fascinating.
Because there's going to be all sorts of tweets like, oh, I heard that Drake Maye is getting offered this amount of money from whatever school. You can't stop that speculation, and that's bad for Carolina right now.
It's fascinating. You just summed up the Larry Fedora era.
That is.
You just said something would have to go really wrong for Drake Maye to leave Carolina.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, he did not commit to Carolina.
True.
Out of high school.
Look, man.
Like that makes no sense.
Look.
Again, you know I get fired up about Will Shipley and Josh Downs.
I know.
And you say to me, what do you, blah, blah, blah. Like it was the equivalent of Drake Maye being like, I'm good. I'm going to Alabama.
Right.
That's how bad it was at Carolina. So if you're a Carolina fan right now and you're down on Mac Brown right now, keep that in mind.
Yeah, I'm with you.
It was so bad that it took Mac coming back being like, hey, buddy, you belong here. Come on now.
So the issue is that there's been a rash of transfers from UNC, mostly on the defensive side, and it's got people all freaked out. Like Tony Grimes being the biggest one. You got Cam Kelly. The Jacoby Criswell thing, people understood. He was a backup to Drake Maye. He wasn't going to see any time, so everybody just kind of shrugged their shoulder. Best of luck to Jacoby Criswell. But then what? Dante Balfour also announced his transfer. He's going to enter the transfer portal here in the last 24 hours. So everybody's looking on the defensive side of the ball and wondering, oh my goodness, what's going on here? Is this a product of Gene Chizik? Did they get it wrong? Is Dre Bly missing on these recruits? These types of things. I get it. Hand-wringing happens in the offseason, given the way that Carolina's ended their season with 3 straight losses, losing to a rival, and getting outclassed by Clemson. The Phil Longo thing, and Brownlow and I have actually gotten into these arguments on Panic Room plenty of times, and that, is Phil Longo a perfect offensive coordinator? No. But Phil Longo put up numbers. The only complaint I ever had about Phil Longo in his time at Carolina when he had Sam Howell and now with Drake Maye is that I wanted him to put the foot on the neck of the opponent in the first quarter and then continue to press down. There were times where I felt like Phil Longo's offenses got too cute. No. Go out there and flex on them. That's what you do. Like the Florida State loss last year, or was it 2 years ago, with Sam Howell, right? Where like Florida State got to a big lead. And I'm like, no. Take their will to compete out of the equation immediately with the offense that you have. That was always my beef. But that's it. It's like a small quibble with Phil Longo's offense because, as our guy Ross Martin points out, like the numbers speak for themselves over the last few years with Sam Howell and Drake Maye. They put up numbers, and you were asking the North Carolina offense to be perfect, game in, game out, to win them all when it was the defense that would give up explosive plays. And that was the key difference about this year. You talked about holding serve like in tennis, right? And Carolina's defense held serve to put the offense in place. But something went off the rails here at the end of the season. Who knows what's up with Josh Downs and various other things as to why things kind of went off the rails offensively. But Phil Longo did really, really well at Carolina. He's off to Wisconsin, and let the speculation begin about Drake Maye and everything else, even though you and I both know, logically, there should be no speculation. But that's the portal season for you, baby.